Said I'm sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with the cream. Sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with. I said I'm sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with the cream. Sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with the cream.
In your pocket, y'all better wisen up.
So now we come in full circle with this. Like I said, we compliment each other. And my whole thing about this is being, a brother from, the streets. Like I said, guard, gangster, and gentleman. As far as what we did when, we came upon this, like the brother said earlier, this chemical warfare, germ warfare, you know what I'm saying? That we became a part of in our community, because I was telling somebody today, my younger cousin, I said I watch alcoholics, I watch heroin addicts, and I watch them still take care of their kids to some degree. Not all. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the better portion, might have went into the system or whatever. But I watched them function, But when crack came along, it was a whole different reality, because it did one thing. It destroyed the foundation. The seed is attached to the woman. The seed is first nurtured in the womb through the woman. Like we say, the devil planted fear in him when he was a little boy, because the greatest story never told, how they used to take horses and take a pregnant black woman and hook her up, one leg on this side, one leg on the other side, and set the horse off so it would tear the baby out of the womb. And we would be automatically afraid of those individuals that committed those atrocities. So when the era came along and we got involved, you know what I'm saying? We got involved once again, chasing the almighty dollar. And through us chasing the almighty dollar, we destroyed our community, because the mothers that started getting high no longer gave their seeds that unconditional love. So if the child is reproduced without any conditional love, then they never know what love is. So it's not hard for them to take life with no regard, because all their life, they never see no love. You understand? And because I participated in that Black Holocaust, which was selling crack cocaine and helping destroy my community for my own individual gain and others. And like I told you when we started this 18 thing, this law team thing, and we decided to get into that and go that way, I felt bad because a lot of brothers followed me. I came on with a college degree. And I did my best to send a whole bunch of brothers to college behind me. But because I made the wrong choice, like I said, and got caught in my junior year with a 25 automatic because of the environment that I'm in, and I slipped for 1 minute, I caught a felony. The failure, which is what they looking to give all of our young black males, the F out the door. So now my college degree didn't mean nothing. And I went down to Wall Street and this, that, and the third. And of course, because of my physical presentation, you know, being 6'3", 200 and so, you know, it's that much more difficult because they got to make sure that we tame. Like Game was talking about when he didn't come to the Super Bowl thing, you know what I'm saying? Because some of us, you know, they still are a little afraid of us being us. So now here we go. We did all of this, went to jail. Like, you know, we got something going on in my project, and I'm going to talk about that later because, you know, Tut, my brother Walter Johnson, was the first one in New York to get tried with your previous state crimes being held against you. And in 1994, they gave my man life without no parole because they used his state criminal record against him. Prior to that, you know, when feds was considered white collar crimes, like my uncle that went to jail for robbing a bank in 1969, he got 21 years. But back then, when you got 21 years, you only did 1/3 of your time. And it was like a country club. My uncle was sending home leather pocketbooks. He's standing there, pools and all that, because only the white collar, meaning only white men that made money, went to the feds. But after we started making all this money, see, because y'all don't understand nothing. Because y'all don't come from the city. Y'all don't come from where we was poor. I was born in Bedford-Stuyvesant, where garbage used to be piled up all over the street, rats running around like this and everything else. If your mother or father owned the car, you was considered to be rich. But now, because y'all got it so easy, guess what? It's so easy for y'all to fall into the trap. So now I have to bring them both together because we was trapped too. And we went after the money. But guess what? We wasn't used to no money. We had never had nothing that we could control on our own, even in the underworld, even with the number game and everything else. And with the heroin game, we know who controlled that. The mafia. But when the Dominicans came here, just like they went out there, or however the connect was with them in LA, which was way better than us in New York, but when they came and we started dealing with them, black on black, that speak a different language, because we all one and the same, we just come from different geographical locations and speak different languages. Y'all brothers be forgetting we was all slaves at one time. So me and Born King, we could be blood brothers. And we belong to the Washington slave master. But tomorrow, he said, oh, when I get 7 years old, which is my guard degree, and I start to grow into my manhood, they want to produce separation. So now they send him out west. And now he becomes Jones. Because his plantation owner name is Jones. So we no longer know we are what? Brothers. So nowadays, what they set up this scenario, the West Coast versus East Coast. I love the death out of Snoop. I just watched Snoop on Drink Champ the other day. He brought back Death Row. And Snoop said some real shit when he was going through it with Death Row and Tupac and all them, because he came to New York City and got on the radio station and said he ain't got no beef with Puffy and Big because he was intelligent. And also, he was not a hater. He was a congratulator. He said they making better music than us right now. We could get together and make music together and control the world. So now you had to buy it back. And him and Puffy is ready to collaborate on that NF TI or whatever, that virtual world shit. And that's the shit that we should be moving toward. But once again, our young black brothers that don't want to listen to us. And the reason why I say us is because the young can't do it without the old, and the old can't do it without the young. We got the experience. Y'all got the youthism. We need each other. So now that I see all y'all young brothers is starting to become conscious and starting wanting to go back from being dogs and niggas to being gods again, I said to my brother, yo, we got to get out here. So now let me, keep moving with this, right? We sold the drugs to get rich, to create a part of the rap persona, the rap world. Because we were the ones wearing all the big jewelry, driving all the fly cars, having all the chicks, everything. But it was because we never had no economics before. And even though, like I said, when we formed the A-Team, our first initial thing was to buy back the community. That same shit Rick Ross is talking about. But once again, we all became individuals and allowed gold chains and cars and women and everything, you know what I'm saying, to cause us to separate. Because once we separate, that's the first tool of making devil. So now, your man Young Thug in them. Because see, we got caught up. Once, like I said, they did Tut, and they seen that it worked, and they could put him in jail for the rest of his life. I still say nowadays, that's because, he didn't implicate Puffy, but maybe it was nothing to implicate him for. Or maybe just Tut is just a stand-up individual. I don't know what it is, but I know my brother shouldn't be in there for the rest of his life. Okay? So, what I want to say is, right, is that they came, all these Ricos, the Supreme Team, the this, the that, or, tore us out the frame. And now here it is, all these years later, decades later, y'all young cats get a chance to get rich off of drill music, off of gang music, and you live in it. And you think that these powers that be is just going to know they setting you up. So now, here it is. Young black men that was fortunate to get money because they got talent to release their wisdom into the atmosphere and get people to pay multi-millions of dollars for it. Like Trek said the other day when I was watching one of the programs again, before hip-hop had to go through to get the country music and all that. Now all them got to go through hip-hop. It's a $1 billion industry. How can you, Young Thug, I done watched you on Icebox, go to the store and put a $95,000 chain on your neck, but yet you as a leader, as one who's in control, and when I say you in control, because if you make the most amount of money, then you're in control, because they're going to protect you. Even if you're a lame, a fag, or whatever you are, the economics dictate that. I don't watch people come to the penitentiary soft as cotton. But because they got money, they got the gorillas to be able to protect them. They got the wolves to be able to protect them. But now, y'all wanted to take that money and circulate it back into death and destruction. So what did y'all do? Y'all bought more guns. Y'all bought more drugs. And then y'all started going through these communities, these nice communities, where y'all got houses. It's a whole different atmosphere from what we grew up in them projects, those real projects in New York, Chicago, and all these other places. And I'm not saying nobody else's projects ain't real, but like I said, when I went into the project, they already grooming us for the penitentiary. they there. You understand? So now, coming full circle, y'all out here running around, doing all this drug that, bop, 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 bop. And they had these cats under a 10-year investigation. But you know what, that Hassan Campbell pointed out when I watched his joint other night? He showed Young Thug in all these dresses and boom, 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 boom. But as soon as he said that Young Thug said something out his mouth that showed some type of consciousness, because they afraid of y'all individuals that got the bag to turn your mentality back from being demons and dogs back to being gods.
And with that being said, right, I'm going to have to jump on up in here because I'm going to take you back into the full cipher, right, into the full circle, because I want y'all young to understand that I get it that you think you're doing something new, right? But ain't nothing new under the sun. It's come full circle because we were you before a law came and saved us. We were black spades here on the East Coast, Savage Skulls, Jolly Stompers. We were all that. So this gang thing is not new. New York City, the gang thing is not new. See, the guards had, I would have to say, a most dominant, maybe from, let's say, 64 to 84.
I'll say about a 20-year run because
right, that's like 64 to 84,
going
right? Because then we're in the middle of the crack and the
exactly.
AIDS, and so I always looked at generations, right, in a 10-year span, right, which might not be like from a scholastic point of view, but I'm looking at the 60s, I look at the 70s, and I look at the 80s, right, and so. Here on the East Coast, we know that from that time that the law came, because the law came to the 3, he didn't come to the 1. And then when I say he came to the 3, he came to the understanding, which is the baby, the best part. That's how he got us back to the knowledge. He got us back to the knowledge through the baby, right? So through the first baby, right? Because the reason why is because black people were broken. And they were broken because of pain and suffering and heartache and Jim Crow and all of that, right? Y'all young don't know about that. The old were broken, but the young was tired of police brutality. The young was hearing Malcolm X. They was hearing Elijah Muhammad. The young was ready. You know what I'm saying? Because the young is the future, right? And the future brings the change. See, y'all is the future, but what y'all don't understand is that they took y'all back in time. But here, let me show you how they did it to you. They made you think what you're doing is new, and it's not. It's just a repeat. It's a repeat. What's old is new, and what's new is old. Because I'm telling you that we had a good 20-year reign. And because of our 20-year reign, they had to come up with a plan to get you off of God and get you back to dog. To get you off of being the father of civilization to make you a savage. And the worst part, they get you to call your own self a savage, go to the store, pay money for a shirt that says savage.
Supreme Savage is
real
expensive.
Like, y'all don't really get the subliminal messages, right? That are now no longer subliminal because of you have bought into it, right? And you spent your money for it, that you actually is dressing your future, your babies with savage, and you talking that you. First of all, man, get on God time, man. Get off demon time. Stop it. All of y'all that's hollering demon time, you know what you inviting? You inviting death into your life, which means you don't got long. You inviting demon time, you inviting the end of your time as a being with life. Y'all got to stop this, because coming full circle, that's why the knowledge itself is coming back. Because guess what? The answer to crime is the black man, woman, and child. And more specifically, the original black culture for the black man, woman, and child is the answer to crime. Because we have the experience. We've been through jails, institutions. We've been through the same struggle that y'all think is brand new. We've been through the assassination policy of America. We've been we've been through that real suffering. So when I say to you that we are the answer, it's because, listen, man, we know this. We know how to solve the problem of X, Y, or Z. It doesn't matter if the problem comes in the X or unknown, or if the problem is a Y problem, or if the problem is a combination of both with the Z. It doesn't matter. We know how to solve the problem. And we know how to apply the proper words, right? And release that word into the atmosphere in a timely manner to save your life. Here go the lifeline, y'all. Y'all ready? Catch it. Because once you catch it, we got you. We're going to hold you up, not hold you down. We're going to bring you up, not bring you down. Because you got to rise above 6 in order to get to 7. But 6 is so attractive because in 6 is where the counterculture operates. He operates in 6 and he uses ghosts and goblins and demons. And like I told you, the ghost is on a piece of paper that's in your pocket right now. And a lot of y'all, I see y'all be on the phone talking to the demon. You got a big stack, right? Y'all don't understand. You talking to the demon. And the demon is like, yeah. But the demon is controlled by a living being who is the evil that lives.
That's right.
See, what y'all don't understand is that the ghost in your pocket is controlled by the evil that lives, and his whole plan is to destroy the original man. Why? Because it's the original man's mentality that can save the entire planet. Black people all over the planet is relying on us here in the wilderness of North America to save the entire black nation.
That's right.
So that's why you, my youth, you're the future of the blood clot nation. However, you got to get out of 6, keep the money, because the money is how you fund the war. You watch them. You see how America says no reparations for black people? But when the white Ukrainian, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, you might go to a restaurant and the restaurant is charging you $1 for Ukraine. They find a way. They just gave them 40 more billion. But they tell you and they ain't got no money for us. Y'all don't need no money. Look at all the young black millionaires that we pay off for rap. They giving y'all peanuts. No, it's not peanuts. It's not peanuts to me. But in the wider scope of things, on a universal level, you see how the white man helped the next white man in Ukraine, but won't help the black man here in America? That's because y'all don't understand that he's paying you for your silence. And as soon as, if he figure that he done paid you and you not going to be silent no more, and that you might get verbal with some kind of consciousness or some kind of, yeah, you know what, I'm aware, man, that really, we the gods and we really need to change. That's when your dress not going to save you, my man. So ask yourself, as you sitting there with time to think, because I just watched it, right, where his lawyer went in front of the judge and he was in front of the judge. And so the judge said, well, I can't even offer him bond right now because, you know what I'm saying, I'm operating from this particular legal standpoint. I can't even offer you bond. So that means, young man, you got time to think. They might have promised you that the judge was going to save you, but is it? This is the question that all of y'all got to ask, because your thing might not have been addressed. It could have been something else that you think is going to save you. But when you operate, when the music industry is hiring youth who belong to this gang, that gang, and the other gang, who got beef with that gang, the YOLO gang, the weak and wicked gang, then they already know they giving the combatants money to fund an internal black-on-black war that they're going to profit from regardless to what side wins. We're all losers because you're feeding our babies. See, y'all act like y'all not responsible for the destruction in the black community. Let me tell you something. A word can change a nation. It can kill a nation. It can hurt a nation. And you got children in middle school that know your lyrics better than they know their ABCs, man. What you think? You not hurting us, man? You not hurting us? Yes, you are. So that's why they paying you. They paying you to hurt yourself and to hurt your people. And what I'm saying to you is, look, you millionaires now. You millionaires. Now, leave that word game alone, right? Maybe the sword won't be executed. Maybe they won't swing the sword on you if you leave the word game alone, and then you can quietly be an asset to the community. Because we all gotta come full circle. What go around, come around. That's what I mean by full circle. Everything that me and my brother did, we had to pay a price. We didn't escape payment, right? But I was never subject to oaths and obligations because I saw the warning signs. I understood who the 10% was. I knew who he was. I knew he was the blood. He was the blood looking for suckers.
They believe in the 10%.
He was the blood sucker. You understand? But he had to entice those.
5% teach them.
He had to entice those who he could, right, to do his labor for him, right? Because that's how persuasive those dead presidents are. It's very persuasive because you think what a mother do for a Klondike bar. Just imagine what a mother do for $1 million. You understand? So at the end of the day, my point to y'all is that this is not new. This thing that people acting like that they so special because they had a gang in New York City, bro, you're not special, bro. You're a special kind of problem now, right? But what I'm saying to you is you're also in a special position where you could actually bring about positive change from a negative environment, right? You can change for the better. You already seen too many examples of how many of y'all... Is hip-hop the most dangerous form of employment in America now?
Definitely is.
So at the end of the day, then, how do you change it? Because you are the employees. Now, your employers, like I told you, they benefit whether you live or die. They don't care.
More when
but
you
don't
die.
you care? Absolutely, you right, man. Because when you die, you're not even there to collect your own money. They just raping your whole family. They raping your family. So my point to y'all is this. You see how now, once they hired all of these different gang members, it wasn't that they didn't inform the feds. The feds know. They working in collusion. They working in cooperation. So once you reach a certain amount of, remember now, you know what the feds gonna do. If they say that any of the money, cars, houses, or that you got from elite, they're snatching it all back. And you ain't gonna have nothing.
And your man Young Thug is in court right now with $6 million lawsuit against him for them not doing that. So now they done take him, lock him up under RICO, and you know once you get locked up under RICO, not unless you got 50 million somewhere buried in the desert or whatever, anything that's attached to anything. And understand one thing with the feds. They go all the way in. And when they charge you, for those of you that think y'all could participate in organized crime, as they say, and they come with the RICO law, they charge you whether you got assets or not. So, you know how many brothers is in the penitentiary? Man, right on Eastern Park, I can tell you from my joint. Niggas that was a lookout for us. Some dude came through, and once again, y'all got the Pete Street game if you saying that you out here and you a part of the street. You understand? And my man, just for a few dollars more, started dealing with him. And to make this story short, all the time, he was an undercover federal agent. I said to my man, he supposed to be coming from Connecticut. What is he doing ending up in Brooklyn buying bagged up bags of crack? Nigga, if you come out of town, you might do that once or twice, but after that, you go into Manhattan, Mecca, as we say, Washington Heights or something, and buy your own joint and hook it up and make more money. Then somebody giving you something already bagged up. Another warning sign was the cat started talking about he got guns and showing my man a list of all type of guns he could get from him. I told my man right then and there, don't bring that nigga nowhere around me. He's a Fed. And he didn't even come for us. He came for my man that was down the hallway that was selling weight at that time. But when he went to my man's door, my man used to have big German shepherds, crazy. So when he opened the door, you notice I'm not saying names. You know what I'm saying? And the Fed said to him, yo, you know I'm coming to cop some weight. My man said, yo, man, I used to sell cocaine. I retired. I don't sell cocaine no more. And the feds were so mad that they couldn't get him. They stuck around till they could get the most lowest level individual in our operation. Just luckily, my man, Lord bless, because I don't even think he here right now. You know what I'm saying? They snatched him. And he had to do 13 years and he ain't have no money. You understand? So when you got money, you got power. But as long as you using that money for death and destruction, and the thing that hurts me the most, because I heard some of y'all up there talking about, oh, it's a black police officer, it's a black district attorney. Yeah, Atlanta's black. So why should we have black people in control of law enforcement? Because understand one thing, I don't want a savage around me. We used to go so hard body back then, you know what I'm saying? Everything was, man, you were 85%. You blind, deaf, and dumb. And even in the prison industry, in our neighborhoods and everything, people nowadays would rather see the guards back out on the street corners teaching knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the community than your gang individuals that's destroying the community. And on top of that, I don't even got nothing against them. I got something against the structure. They took Larry Hoover. They took all of the real Jeff Ford. They took all the real ones out the way. Because them brothers had been realized. GD, Gangster Disciple, Growth and Development. I don't got nothing against y'all young brothers. That's the way that y'all learned it. But now it's time to change the narrative. And what I am here to let y'all know, we got y'all back. I'm coming in the army as a general and I got your back. All y'all that's about getting back to who you are, about getting back to doing something constructive. See, because we can have all the philosophy and all the great ideology in the world, but if we don't got no economics, we can't build on none of that.
And that's the problem. See, y'all got the money, right? You can fund all the change that's needed in the community. And it's a damn shame that you made all this money from your word, right? So which kind of means that you made the money legitimately, right? But now you sitting in prison for some illegitimate shit that they accusing you of? Just think about that. Young millionaires not just going to the grave, young millionaires going to the feds and the prisons. Why? Understand it. Like I told you, man, get out of the trap. Because you in the trap because of the cheese.
Cheese is money.
Exactly.
In case y'all don't know.
So the reason why, that's why I'm using the words that we use. The trap. Because in the trap, you're trapping for the cheese. But you don't know you might be the rat inside of the trap. Right? Trying to eat the cheese. And meanwhile, the guy who made the rat trap maker is sitting there watching you. He in the car up the block.
And he arrested all the mice that roll with you.
All of the mice that left
turn
your trap.
and
he gonna flip them on you.
Why you think they been grabbing 28, 26, 14, 15 of y'all at the same time? Because one of y'all gonna break. And that's all they need.
Here's my point to y'all, and I really want y'all to really, really, really absorb this. All of y'all, I'm telling y'all, pay attention to what they doing in Young Thug. Change the channel. You heard what my brother said.
They already had ads.
But wait, hold on.
Did
you hear what he said? When the feds came to the door and the dogs was barking, he said, man, I'm retired. That's what y'all got to do now. I retired from the game. No, I used to be. So look now, all that Rico shit, I'm not with that. I ain't with that. Now I get it, right? I get it. There's so many different shit. There's so many different gangs now. I couldn't even tell you all the names, right? But I know a lot of y'all in that music industry that's the youngest, hottest rappers, whether you call it drill music, trap music, whatever you calling it. I know a lot of y'all is involved in that. Y'all gonna have to like try to use some kind of discretion, right? Because they done got y'all so comfortable that you flash gang colors, gang signs, gang this, gang that. You gang, understand that they got gang units. They got gang units watching you. And when you talk about the hip hop police, y'all created a whole nother employment division of the police department.
The nigga Anthony Parker. And I've been getting at you for years when you first wrote that book called Hip Hop Cop. Because in the 4th chapter in that book, you talk about Crooklyn. And that's when you put Glaze and Kendu and all them a part of 18. And that's another thing. Understand one thing, y'all. I am not here to glorify no hoods. I'm not here to glorify one hood made more body counts than the other hood. I'm not here for y'all in the projects now because y'all chasing clout and you want to show that your uncle was more gangster than the next uncle. All y'all is my nephews. Because all your fathers and your uncles, one thing about us, we got along when push came to shove. We might have had beef amongst each other in the front, the side, or whatever, but when we went out that projects, we was all Cypress Hills. When we went outside the borough, we was all Brooklyn. I remember getting on the train to go to the city. We get on that Euclid Avenue. By the time we get, if it's running express, we get to Broadway Junction. We pick up the Canarsie crew. You know what I'm saying? We pick up a little bit of the Brownsville crew, up the hill. And then we shoot on down. We hit Utica Avenue. We start picking up Crown Heights. We start picking up pieces of Bed-Stuy. You know what I'm saying? Horton Skimmerhorn, Coney Island, this one, that one, J.C. Broadhawk. By the time we go over that bridge, we won.
You see, and let me just say this to you, right? Because it's important. My brother mentioned the hood. Understand the most beautiful thing about the hood is that we neighbors. We got to turn our hoods back into neighborhoods. Because as long as we can see the next black man and woman and child as our neighbor, then we can transform the hood into neighborhood. And once we transform the hood into neighborhood, right, then we understand now that we are collective. We're a family of black people.
It takes all of us to raise a village.
You understand what I'm saying? So it take a village to raise, the children, right? But what I'm saying is hoods got to come back to being neighborhoods, but we got to be able to identify with our neighbors, especially our neighbors that look like us, or else your hood will become gentrified. And what you didn't value, that other man is going to come in and he is going to take you out of your hood and make it his neighborhood.
Woo!
Watch what I'm telling you.
Born King, you just hit it. You just brought it right there to me. Now check this, y'all. Once they lock all of y'all up, they got all the money now. They got a chance to get at the bag, as y'all said, right? Because like my man Showface was saying, it's going down. The state of Georgia, the state of New York City, they coming after y'all. They coming to bury y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I showed y'all that article before in 94, and they put in there the feds is looking to bury King Tut. Now they looking to bury all of you gang members that got this money off this drill music. They been laying. So now, once they get y'all all back out of these neighborhoods, because the only reason why they coming at y'all, for one, is the violence. And we all agree on the violence. I don't want to walk out my house. I don't want to subject my kids to having to walk down the block, and because you think he belong to some nonsense that you belong to, or you trying to force him that way, and if they don't, you know what I'm saying, then it's a situation. None of us want to live around niggas. So now they lock all of y'all up. What do they do with the community now? They make it safe again. The same community that should have been safe for your aunts, your mother, your daughters, and everything else that you didn't make safe.
You made it unsafe.
See, but one thing about us back in the hood, and especially our side or whatever, when you want to do that, we always taught that you can't, respect them, and you couldn't come in there and rob no ladies. You couldn't come in there and just shoot a nigga or anything like that because it was all right, because we was all one big family. Abijab, LD, Glaze, Jesus, Tut, Boo Brown, Tank, Drac, Arif, K-Shot, everybody. And of course, there's always going to be separation when it comes to male because we got that testosterone. You know what I'm saying? We got that masculinity. It's just too bad that we show it the wrong way in our hood. The brothers that should be complimented is the ones that's going to school, learning how to be doctors, lawyers, and so forth and so on. So that now when they get these degrees, all of y'all that achieved this status of being able to make hundreds and tens of millions of dollars, now you got a job for them. Now he can be our doctor in our own community that's going to give us the best possible advice instead of us listening to somebody that's other than ourselves. This is what the Nation of Islam was about. Marcus Garvey, all of that. They was all building for us to be able to build for ourselves.
And that's what Allah taught us, right? He built us to be the builders of the greatest nation on the face of the planet. And I'm telling y'all that the generational effect that our nation had is why y'all brothers is named Jamel and not Robert or Harry or Mark or Joseph. Because the generational effect that we had, that your mothers and even your grandmothers, they changed from Christian names to righteous names. So if you don't believe that we were the original teachers of the street, if you don't believe that we were the original black coaches, take a minute and look at your own name. And your name will be the proof. Now, I know there's some exceptions. But when the counterculture look at the kindergarten roles, the middle school roles, the high school roles, and the college roles, they see our names.
Instead of
they don't see their Christian names dominating these roles. If you watch football, basketball, look, this is what I'm trying to tell you. We're not just talking, right? What we talking is actual fact. It is a difference. We speaking truth to power because the power to save us is only us that's going to save us. They're not about saving us. They about us self-destruction. They're about us self-destroying ourselves. And then those of us who don't want to destroy ourselves, they would volunteer to destroy us. You understand? Like they did Ahmaud Arbery. You know what I'm saying? Like the police woman who killed the man in his own apartment. Like Sean Bell. We got Eleanor Bumpus. Like we can go back to, listen, what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Michael Griffin.
See, now, Yusuf Hawkins and Michael Griffiths and them is showing you the power of that white community because that was their neighborhood. And because it was their neighborhood, they didn't tolerate us even being in there. You understand? And so they killed us just for the fact that we was a black man in a neighborhood. But you don't know how to love yourself and you understand? And look at somebody else as your enemy. You only know how to look at your own. It's the self-hating black man that really was the cause for this other kind of man to even be born. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is I get that some of y'all suffer so much neglect and benign neglect and direct neglect and no unconditional love, that self-hate have made you hate everybody that looks like you in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, you don't even love yourself. And I get that. That's a hard place to be. When you can't even look in the mirror and love you, and that allows you. And that allows you to look at the next black man as just a problem that you can move out the way. You can just be a life-giving, a life-taker with no remorse. You understand what I'm saying? What my point is, because we really can't talk to y'all forever today. But today, we gave y'all some forever information that can forever stay alive in your brains, right? That can be the catalyst for the change y'all need to make today. Y'all can make the change today. You understand? Because it's in your brain to change how you think. And when you change how you think, you change how you act. And when you change how you act, you change the product of your endeavors. You understand me? So if you getting money and you got money, you understand? Think about how you can create positive change. If you just look at American whites and how they is helping the white Ukrainian, man, that they never even knew. They don't know them. They giving those white Ukrainians our tax dollars. That's our money, G.
Of course it is.
Did they ask our permission?
No.
If we
want, they won't even let us in.
But
they
even
won't let
deeper
the
than
brown
that,
man in.
even deeper than that, our tax dollars,
brother.
we can't direct our tax dollars to help our brothers in Ethiopia. They've been at war forever right now.
Rwanda and all that.
You understand?
Yeah.
But they can take our tax dollars without permission and give it to the white man, and at the same time tell us we ain't got no money for y'all in Bed-Stuy.
Right.
We ain't got no money for y'all in Southern California. We ain't got no money for y'all in North Carolina. But we got $40 billion for the white people in Ukraine. Like,
right.